Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to do an inventory system. So the first thing we need is a way to pick up items. So I'm going to start that by making a new folder called Blueprints. Make a new folder in there called Items. And in there, we're going to make a new Blueprint class, and it'll be an actor, and call it BP base item. You can also create a child blueprint of that called BP base weapon. And we can make another child BP base armor, I guess. And in BP base item, we're going to add some integers, and we're going to name one attack and one defense. And those will be the only stats just for this example tutorial, so we'll just save all. And so for base weapon, we can set the attack to 2, defense to 0, and for armor, we can set the attack to 1 and defense to 2, just for an example. And so now we need to make the items appear in the world. So we're going to add a static mesh, and it'll just be a cube just to visualize the item. Maybe make it a bit smaller. We can maybe make the weapon a cone, I guess. So engine content cone. So we can have a weapon here and the armor here. Armor can just stay as the cube. Alright, so now we need a way to add these to an inventory, and so we're going to do a few things here. The first thing is we need to make a struct, and we'll do that in the items folder. We'll just go to blueprints, structure, and we'll call it struct item, and we're going to add blueprint, we're going to call it an actor, and go to class, actor class reference, and we'll call it item class, and then we'll add an integer attack stat, defense stat, file save all. Now, so I guess we can go to our character, and this is just a third person template, and we'll just put the inventory on the character itself. So we'll add a variable, and we'll make it a struct item, and we'll call it inventory, and we'll change this to an array. So that's our inventory there. So now I'm going to make it so that when you click on these, you go over and you're in range, then you'll pick it up and it'll get removed and added to the inventory, and then we'll add the actual menu system. So let's do that. So we could do that in the controller. So let's go to the top-down BP blueprints controller. We will see how we're gonna do this. Right, so let's add a pin here, drag all these down, and we're going to get result under cursor by channel. We'll do visibility and struct pin, and then we're going to do contains interface. Off hit actor interface does implement interfaces. We're looking for. We're gonna have to make that interface. So go to the inventory folder or the items folder. Go to blueprints, interface, BPI item, and then base item. Go to the class settings and add BPI item. Compile, save. So if it does contain BPI item, then we want to set this to a variable called hovered item. If false, set hovered item to false. If we can actually do, well, we don't need to do the, actually, yeah, let's do this. If it's valid, if it is valid, set it to false. If we're not over an item that contains the interface. So now if let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Now, if hovered item, convert this to value to get, is not valid, then move there. If it is valid, get distance to other actor, get controlled pawn. If it's less than 60, I guess, let's make it 100. If that's false, then do this. If it's true, then we'll add a function, add item to inventory. We probably should have put the inventory on the player controller, but we can still do that actually. So let's just get rid of this from the character, and let's add to here struct item, make it an array. We'll call it inventory. So then we'll just add unique and just drag this here. And then off here, we will do add item to inventory, get hybrid item, split this, get, okay, so now what we can do actually is go to our VPI item and we'll do get item struct, and the output will make item struct item is what we're looking for. There it is. Item stats. And then what we'll do is we'll go to our BP base item and we'll do interfaces get item struct. We will do split this, and off here we'll do get get class self, connect that, and then connect attack here, connect defense here. Alright, so we're almost ready to make our menu. We just need to, off this, get stats, whoops. What was it? Get item struct. We can also make that pure. Let's go to our BP item, click here. Oh, no, we can't make that pure, never mind. So, get item struct. And we can recombine this, connect this. Alright, so that's good for now. Let's see if this works. Oh, right, we need to, when we add item to inventory, we should also destroy the item. So, destroy actor and set hovered item to nothing. Alright, so let's see if we can go click on this. Yeah, it's destroyed. Click on this. Okay, now one problem is he just moves there and then it doesn't delete it, but we're not gonna worry about that for now. You can fix that on your own because I need to get to the menu system. So let's make a new folder and call it UMG. And we'll make another new folder and we'll call it widget, or sorry, not a folder, a widget. Call it UMG inventory. Now we're gonna make a border. We're gonna set this to custom on screen. Sorry, not that. Desired on screen. For the border, we'll set it to 0, 0, and then 400 by 400, I guess. Actually, maybe 500 by 400. And we're gonna make this a not ugly color. So brush color, set this to black, set this to 0.5. Compile, save, and then we're gonna add a grid, uniform grid panel, and that's good. So now we need a UMG, another widget, UMG item card, and we'll make it, I guess, 50 by 50. Actually, 100 by 100 looks good. So we'll add a vertical box. 0, 0, 100. We'll add text to it, and we'll call it item name, and we'll make the font a bit smaller. Maybe we should make this 200 by 200 actually. 200 by 200. We'll go to the inventory, we'll make the border, make it 800 by 800. Alright, and we'll center this, and then we'll add a new text block here, and this will be attack. And then we'll Control C, Control V. I guess it's not working. There we go. We'll call this defense. And then we're going to go to here, the event graph, and we're going to make a new function, set stats. And the input will be a struct item. And it'll be item, we'll name it. And we're going to make this a variable, make this a variable, make this a variable, and then we'll go here. For here, we're going to set text, and we're going to get display name, connect that, Control C, Control V twice, and let's see, attack is 107, so we'll get 107, so we'll get to string append, just going to Control C, Control V this, so attack, whoops, defense, connect this to here, connect this to here, get rid of this. So that's going to set our item card stats. Whoops, we need to connect this here. Compile, save. So inventory, we need to make a custom event. Add item to inventory. And we're going to make the input a struct item. Item. And we're going to get our uniform grid, make it a variable. Add child. Add child to uniform grid. We're going to create widget. It's going to be an item card. And so we're going to go to the item card again, and on construct we're going to set stats and item promote to variable, item make it expose on spawn, instance editable, and we'll put a delay just so it loads properly. And make it make it a delta delay, I guess. Delta, get world delta. Alright, so now we connect item to here, connect this to here, and we need to set row and set column. I'll promote this to variable row column. So we'll set row +1, set that unless it's greater than 4. So if that's false, set it. Sorry, if that's true, set row to 0. Otherwise, if it's false, set row to this. Set column. We can just we can make a sequence here. We can essentially just copy this, I guess. Oh, sorry, I screwed this up. Okay, I have to fix this. So +1. So set column to plus. I'll get rid of this for now. And if it's greater than 4, we need to set row to +1. Right, so move this. So what I'm doing here is adding 1 to the column. And if it's greater than 4, get row and set it to +1. And then set column to 0. Okay, I think that's right. I've confused myself a little bit, so this might be wrong, but we'll see. So now we need to go to our top-down controller, and on begin play, we're going to create widget, inventory, add to viewport, promote it to variable, inventory, inventory GUI, we'll call it. And then we're going to set hidden, actually remove from parent. No, so it just won't remove it, add to viewport. So what we're gonna do now is, okay, sorry, I screwed this up. We're gonna do, if we press I, so I key, where are you? Okay, I'm gonna make a tab because that's easier. And we will create widget, inventory, add to viewport, just set it to variable. And then we're gonna do convert to validated get, connect this. If it's not valid, do this. If it is valid, remove from parent. And we're also going to do get this. We're going to do for each loop. I'm going to get this and add item to inventory, connect this, and now we should be good, I think. So if we press tab, our inventory comes up. Now it only came up once, so remove from parent and then set this to false or to not invalid. So let's see, tab, inventory comes up, and I can't click the item anymore for some reason. Oh, there we go. So there we go, we've got our item in the thing there. So let's just see, there we go, and we've got the second one. So let's make the item card a bit more distinct. Let's add a border. Connect the vertical box to the border. Border we'll set to 200 by 200, and we'll make its brush color black. And I'll make it more gray, I guess. Compile, save. So file, save all. So that's a bit rough, but we get the idea here. We get close to the item. We have its item appearing in the inventory, and we need to hit tab. So another thing we can do is in our controller, we add item to inventory. If the inventory is valid, add item to inventory. So this way we can click on stuff with the inventory open and it'll add it. Alright, so that's, oops, gotta get a bit closer. So that's a bit rough, but that's how you can make a basic inventory. Another thing you'd want to do is make these buttons and stuff so you can drag it around and move items, but I can cover that in a future video. This is how to get started. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.